Welcome everybody. My name is Maralee Burnett. I am your astrologer, back with the messages for the new moon in Capricorn. This is a pretty auspicious new moon with tremendous opportunities that could surprise you. Now you might be ready for the surprises because of the fact that you watched last week's video about this Capricorn stellium. If not, now would be a perfect time for you to click on that subscribe button. That way you get notification every time I post new content. And that one was a doozy. So make sure, if you haven't watched it yet, you go back and watch it, because what you've been experiencing over these past 2 weeks is the prep work for what this new beginning is all about for you. We've got a lot of planets in the sign of Capricorn helping you prepare. So thank you in advance for subscribing and going out to my website, maraleeburnett.com. That way you have access to all of my written content. So you want to head out there now and read this new moon in Capricorn article. Taking a look at all of the January content that I have out there, and even a sneak peek at February, because I did finish that monthly article, which I did a little differently. If you're used to how I've been writing my articles, this time I gave you a little breakdown by sign of what you might experience in the month ahead. Of course, you have my typical new moon and full moon articles for the month, and February starts eclipse season. So we're kicking off big changes right now as we start with this excitable new moon in the sign of Capricorn. And that's all we will focus on today. So we're going to do the breakdown of what energy is available to us for this new moon. And then, of course, do a breakdown for you of where, based on your rising sign, this new moon may be showing up for you. It's a late degree new moon, so depending on where your houses sit, I do use Placidus. You may consider listening to the sign after yours for even more insight, or before. Again, it just depends on how your chart is set up, which I would know if I had worked with you. So you can consider also on my website booking a session with me. I do have a special price for just focusing on new moons or full moons as well. And of course, the deep dive into 2026. We've got a lot of energy to get through this year. And if you want to be fully prepared, I have a worksheet out there for you that you can do it yourself, astrology prep. And of course, booking a session with me. It's a 2-hour session because there is a lot of detail to go through. And then I fill that worksheet out for you, which breaks down all of the retrogrades for the year ahead, all of the planets that are changing signs and when, and of course, all the new moons, all the eclipses, all of that included with a mini astrology workbook as well. It's extremely affordable. So check it out and let me know how I can help you in this 1 year that we are in now. And included in the January article is a breakdown of all of the 2026 energy. So I'm doing my best. Even though I surprisingly had my granddaughter born last week, so I was suddenly off and traveling and getting to spend time with her and my daughter and my son-in-law, and it was amazing. So yes, the Capricorn stellium did shake things up for even me, unexpectedly bringing this little bundle of joy into our lives. So very excited about that. So I already have seen what new opportunities and surprises are in store for me, but now let's take a look at what that could mean for you. So as I do this breakdown, I will tell you the house where this new beginning can happen in, and then where the surprise may show up, which is going to be what house you happen to have this Uranus energy sitting in at the time of this new moon event. So let's break it down. So again, last week I mentioned how we had a lot of work going on in the sign of Capricorn as the Sun and Mercury and Mars and Venus, who now has slipped into the sign of Aquarius, were all working together over these last several weeks since the full moon in the sign of Cancer to help us realize what goals we want to focus on in the year ahead, because Capricorn rules over the 10th house. The 10th house, that highest point in our charts, the highest point of achievement, climbing a mountain like that Capricorn goat. That is what we've been focusing on in these 2 weeks. And now we're ready to realize those dreams, and we have a lot of energy helping us. So Capricorn, structure, hard work, goals, discipline, all things that have to do with Saturn, its ruler. And when you have Mars, our motivation, or Mercury, movement, ideas, conversation, communication, and then the moon, our emotional self, the sun, our ego self, all coming together. All of these energies are combining to help you achieve your goals. Now keep in mind, because of the fact that Mars and Mercury and even Venus are behind the sun, you cannot see them. They are being cleansed and reborn at this time, and really not until they become visible again will we fully have access to this energy. So this is truly about the sun, our ego self, being the driver of these new beginnings at this time. And later, whatever's been going on behind the power of the sun will be realized. But it's going to be a couple of months before these planets move out of the shadow of the sun and can be seen on their own. For now, they're literally just supporting the sun and the moon as they come together. Now, of course, every time the moon meets with the sun in the same sign, it's a blank slate. Emotionally, our energy has been cleansed. Same thing with that Venus energy, the Mercury, the Mars. The energy is being cleansed by the sun. This is a reset moment, and there's a lot of different energies in your life that are going through a reset. So if you've been feeling blocked and stuck, if you've been feeling like your thinking is fuzzy, if you've been confused about what your values are, how you feel, or if you've been feeling cut off from your feelings, well, this event is going to clear all of that up for you and make it very clear what it is that you want and what you are ready to go after. Now, a stellium is very intense energy, which is 3 or more planets all very closely aligned in the same sign. And even though Venus has moved on into the sign of Aquarius, she's still very much engaged here. Even Pluto is very much engaged here. They're just from a different perspective. So if you think about Capricorn, this is the government, which has been very active everywhere. But Pluto is the people, and you're seeing protests against governments in different countries as a result of this. And as Venus joins with Pluto in the week ahead, which will be in another video, you will see women in positions of power and authority who are taking a stand as well. But in this video, we're just going to focus on this earthy energy that has us very grounded and very serious. And it also has the government very serious about what they want at this time. So remember, it's not just our individual world that we focus on with astrology. We're also looking at the collective and what is happening. So, like it or not, there are governments out there that are deciding what their goals are, what land they want, and are going to be going after, even if they're just making verbal threats at this time. It will be a part of these next 2 weeks for sure. So all of that combined energy can feel a little heavy as well. So you want to make sure that you're grounding yourself, literally visualizing yourself, sticking your roots into the earth and getting some of that heaviness released from your own body so this doesn't weigh you down tremendously. So then we have what the earth needs, which is water, that comes to it from Saturn. Moving forward, we're almost done with these lessons with understanding how to create healthy boundaries and how to keep our emotions in check, how to start to realize our dreams, how to clear our delusions. So we have Saturn and Neptune in the sign of Pisces. Both of them are almost done with their time here. In fact, we're about 30 days out from a complete reset when Saturn and Neptune both move into the sign of Aries, the first sign. A reset for society as a whole is coming in February. This is a new 36-year cycle. That's how long it takes once Saturn and Neptune meet up for them to meet up again. So that energy here, as we wrap up with Neptune and Saturn in Pisces, they're here in the last degrees of the last sign of the zodiac. There are important endings. There are conclusions. This will be the end of certain people's storylines because that's what we get at 29 degrees of Pisces, is very intense endings for some. But then you have Saturn in there bringing in stability, bringing in structure, helping to contain the water, contain the emotions, contain these delusions. But there, of course, are some people out there who are taking advantage of those who are easily deluded by others. But as far as this new moon goes, what Neptune and Saturn are helping you do is realize how to nurture your goals, right? Because the water energy nurtures the earth. And so that Saturn energy gives you the plan. Neptune helps you get into the creative part of your dreams and your goals. And together they are going to influence what your goals are for yourself. And I really feel like this is the new moon where you are actually setting goals for the year ahead, not necessarily seeing them be effective from the new year as much as you will now. If you want to set long-term goals, you do that with Capricorn energy because Saturn is long-term commitment. Saturn is time, and Saturn rules over the sign of Capricorn. So Saturn, the ruler, is sitting in Pisces saying your goals have to be creative. You have to be emotionally connected to them in order to realize them. Then we get the fun, spicy surprise, which is the planet Uranus in the sign of Taurus. Of course, ruled by Venus. Remember how I said Venus is playing a role here. She's in the sign of Aquarius, influencing the people, helping them realize what matters most to them and empowering them to do that as well. So here we have the Uranus in the sign that Venus rules, Taurus, almost done as well. It'll finish up in April with its journey through the sign of Taurus and still retrograde. So there is an influence from the past that is helping you achieve your goals. And it is shocking. It is surprising. People could come out of the woodwork and perhaps offer you money to help you achieve your goal because Taurus energy is financial in nature. There can be financial agreements from the past that could come up now that could surprise you. Surprising people could decide they want to invest in you. It's really going to depend where you have this Uranus influence in your chart, where this surprise element comes from. And remember, Uranus is a lightning bolt. It's innovation. It's the god of the sky versus Gaia, the god of the earth, right? They came together. They created all these situations and people and other planets. And there's something about the god of the sky that is coming through here to shake things up. So we have some energy in the earth itself that could shake us up over these next several weeks. But more importantly, it's meant to shake you out of your tower. So this is like the tower card. Uranus is like the tower card. And the tower is really how we imprison ourselves. So we look at the tower card and we get scared and afraid. But the point of it is to shake things up. We can't just keep doing the same thing day in, day out. We need variety. We need challenges. We need surprises. And we need to know how to respond when things aren't going exactly the way they're meant to. But it's helpful. All of these connections are creating this minor triangle. And there's multiple of them because there's so many planets that are a part of this energy. This is the most auspicious looking new moon I've seen in a long time, where we have all of this opportunity, all of these trines, these triangles, these trines between these 4 planets and Uranus, and then the sextiles, which is what we get from Neptune and Saturn over to Uranus, and then all of these Capricorn planets over, like I said, in a sextile to Saturn and Neptune. So we have all of this opportunity showing up. If you ignore what is showing up for you at this time, if you are afraid to take a risk, if you are afraid to push yourself outside your comfort zone, you will regret it. This will be a time in your life where you look back and go, oh, why didn't I do the thing? You have to do the thing. Push yourself to do the thing, to set intentions for yourself at this time, to break through barriers, to break through boundaries that are holding you back. And I find it very hard to believe that you will regret it. Now, does that mean I think you should go take $100,000 and throw it in a high risk endeavor? No, I'm not saying that. But I am saying trust where you are being guided. And if it seems weird and strange and bizarre and you've never considered such a thing, that's the thing. So, where is this all going to show up for you? Well, that's what we're going to break down now. Now, chances are, like I said, if you watched the previous video about this Capricorn stellium, it could be happening in the same location of your chart, but it also could be different. So please look at your own chart so you know for sure what houses are being impacted. Because what the house tells us is where in your life this new opportunity is showing up. That's why we look at the house. The moon shows us from its perspective where our emotions, our intuition, our need for security, emotionally secure people, right? That's what we want. The moon shows us what we need to feel emotionally safe and secure. So you can look at that lens as well, but that isn't something we can touch. It's not tangible. It's just a feeling. And then the sun is your ego self. And your ego, again, you can't touch your ego, but the ego does surround you with a lot of material things that you think you want and need in order to feel good. They're all fake, but that is where you would look at this from your sun's perspective, is what does my ego self want as far as a new beginning goes? And most often they're from some different perspective. So play around with it. Listen for all 3 of those and then get back to me in the comments later with what has been showing up. Even over these last 2 weeks, you should have clues as to what's about to shift and change for you. And it's good. Like in my case, it's good, wonderful new beginnings involving family for me. So very excited about that, which is also the full moon in Cancer. So let us now dive in and take a look at each sign, as I said. And I'm not going to add in also the Saturn, Neptune, because it's just going to take too long and get too complicated. But if you want to know specifically where all of these helping hands are showing up for you, just book a session with me on my website, maraleeburnett.com. and we'll try to get this done. And the energy stays with us over the next 2 weeks. So whenever you can squeeze the session in with me, even if it's past the new moon, that's fine. But check out my new moon article, because I also include in there a ceremony that you can do as you're setting these 10 new moon intentions. Don't miss it. Really think you have a lot of help behind those intentions at this time. So with that, let us get started with the sign of Aries. So Aries, for you, as I mentioned earlier, Capricorn energy for you is your 10th house. So this is a new beginning, helping you realize your goals as far as your career goes. And if you're not working now, this is your goals that are associated with your purpose at this time. Are you of service? Are you in school? Whatever you're doing, whatever people say your name and say, oh, they do blah, 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 blah. That's your reputation. That's what you're known for. Your status, what people understand about you and how you stand in the world. That's the 10th house. So you have this brand new opportunity. And when you have Capricorn in your 10th house, Aries, you do best in roles that are structured, such as working for the government, working in finance, could be in the military because of that Capricorn influence. Could be insurance, right? Anything in the financial type of markets. Those career choices will serve you well. So that is always great, right? And always keep in mind, while we have a new beginning in the career, a new chapter opening up for you in some way, that doesn't mean something old has to fall away in order to open this new chapter up for you. Now, that doesn't mean you have to change jobs, change companies, but something about the work you do is changing, and it will feel fresh and new. You'll feel motivated. You'll feel inspired. And that's a great way to feel when it comes to your career. So what could surprise or shake things up for you? Well, that's going to come from Uranus in your second house of the money you make. So perhaps you, Aries, are getting an unexpected promotion, new job responsibilities, and keep in mind, you're going to be working very hard. And perhaps it's somebody that you worked with in the past who reaches out to you, makes this financial offer to you, and it's shocking and it's surprising, and you don't want to let it slip through your fingers. Now, some of you, because of the shocks and revelations here in your second house of the money you make, may be throwing the career away that you thought you were so devoted to, and want to pursue something that's more aligned with the things that you value and you want to be a part of your career going forward. All right. Sounds pretty exciting, Aries. So keep me posted in the comments if you're seeing new job opportunities or what's changing in your life. And then we have Taurus. Well, Taurus, this should be pretty surprising for you. Now, this is a new beginning in your 9th house. The 9th house is the house that is about growth and expansion. So will you grow your knowledge by going to college? Oh, look at that, making up for little rhymes. Or will you grow your spirituality? All of those things align with that Jupiter energy in your 9th house. Also could have to do with expanding horizons, such as moving to a foreign country, gaining knowledge, such as learning a foreign language, all kinds of topics that move you beyond the small place where you feel safe and secure. This is about pushing your boundaries and going big, which is what I talked about last week as well. So it is the time for you to devote to educating yourself in some way. And it doesn't even have to be formal education. It's just something that will broaden your perspective, open your mind to new ideas and opportunities. So that is really positive. And then you have, of course, Uranus has been in your first house for, about 7 years now. And you may have been surprising yourself a lot in that time. But now this, again, is you reaching deep within yourself and remembering a long ago dream that you had for yourself and how you wanted to pursue what you love, what you're passionate about. And it makes you unique and interesting and eclectic. And so maybe there's some of you out there that are just going to pick things up and suddenly move to another country. Some of you are going to go back to school, and other people will be very surprised that at this stage of the game, you want to go back to school, or you're wanting to devote yourself to a life of service and going to countries where you're helping other people. Lots of opportunities, but the number one thing is you're stuck in the tower, and if you will break yourself free from this little prison that you've created for yourself at this time, you have tremendous opportunity and maybe even some blessings that are showing up for you. So let yourself be free, and let me know in the comments, Taurus, what big opportunities are showing up for you at this time. All right, then we are moving to Geminis. So Geminis, this Capricorn energy for you is showing up in your 8th house. So the 8th house of death, rebirth, transformation, intimate relationships, money that comes to us from other people. I like to describe the 8th house as the value that we create for ourselves as a result of how other people invest in us. So which of those categories speaks to you the most? Because whichever it is, it's about to turn your life upside down and change everything. And then you're going to be ready to move forward in a brand new way. And while we talk about death and rebirth, it's letting something die that has been not aligned with you for a long time, letting the past go so that you can move forward freely. That's what the rebirth process is about. And yes, sometimes it's very painful because you've gotten very comfortable with this shell that you've created for yourself to protect yourself from people invading your space, right? When we talk about having intimate relationships, that means we're exposed. You have to get comfortable with being exposed at this time. So the energy that shocks and surprises you comes from your 12th house. So again, these are psychological areas, right? The 8th house and the 12th house. 8th house rules your psychology, your psyche. The 12th house rules your subconscious mind. So there are some long buried hidden patterns that have been holding you back. Maybe these are lifetime contracts that you came here, picked up, and you've been just carried forward, and you're just done with all of that. You want a fresh start. You want a fresh break. And anything that's been weighing you down and holding you back at this time, it's got to go. Now, for some of you, 12th house can be large institutions. If you've been stuck or trapped in one, you may be breaking free at this time. You also may see, if you work for a large institution, a surprise bonus, right? 8th house is money that comes to us not directly as far as our paycheck, but like as a bonus. It could be a tax refund. It could be an inheritance, but something about what's coming in for you from this hidden secret place, 12th house, will surprise you. But as a result of this investment in yourself, you have a whole new opportunity showing up for you. So take advantage of it, Geminis, and keep me posted what's showing up for you. And then we have Cancers. So Cancers, this is a brand new beginning in your 7th house of serious relationships. That can be very close friendships. It can be marriage. It can be business partners. It can be commitments and contracts. All of those things fall under the purview of that Libra 7th house kind of energy. And so when you're starting a serious commitment, which is Capricorn, there can be hard work in the relationship ahead for you, but it's going to go the distance. So if you're meeting somebody new at this time, know that you're going to have to put in the work. Know that it's going to definitely be intense work. But once you do the work, once you make this commitment, it's one that's going to be with you for a long time. So it will be well worth it. Of course, this is the opposite sign. This is the 7th house compared to the 1st house. So there is something you have to realize about yourself in order to allow this new beginning to happen. So if you're looking for marriage, great. If you're already in a marriage, that relationship is going to a next level. It's a new chapter that maybe you're reworking everything. Maybe you're beginning, because of the help of Mercury, to communicate about what you want, what you need, what you desire with your partner. And that closeness then takes this relationship to the next level. And if you're in a relationship or a marriage that just isn't serving you well, then this stellium of energy is going to combust it and bring you in a new one. So you've been seeing this over the last 2 weeks. What's been showing up for you, Cancers, and what is helping you realize your goals as far as relationships and partnerships go, so that you can get the relationship of your dreams, the long-term one you've been seeking. So the surprise element is here in your 11th house of friends and networking groups, mentors. So is it a personal relationship? Is it business? Whatever it is, there is a friend, potentially somebody in maybe your work group, that could be the surprise element that reaches out, especially somebody from the past, because Uranus is retrograde, and wants to reconnect with you to create this partnership. Out of the blue, bolt of lightning, they show up again unexpectedly and are like, hey, I've got this dream, and I think you're the perfect person to help me bring it to life. Join me now. And like I said, it's going to shock you or surprise you. And if it's love, same thing. This person that you haven't thought about in years suddenly pops up out of the blue. Those people, I just want you to give a little extra time uncovering all the motives before you commit to anything. However, there's a reason why anybody from the past is showing up for you at this time. So you need to explore it fully and then watch out. Like I said, whatever this new opportunity is, it's going the distance. This person who shows up now is going to be in your life for a long time. In some surprising, shocking way, they show up and have a very important role to play. All right. And then we have Leos. Leo, this energy is showing up for you in your 6th house. So this is a great time to commit to new goals for yourself in your 6th house, which has everything to do with the work you do. It could have to do with your health. It could have to do with your pets, being of service to other people. Whatever you consider being a part of your day-to-day life, you can commit to it now and stay committed to it for a long time. So this is the most perfect time, Leos, to do things that restructure what you do on a day-to-day basis. And so if that's your health, if that's diet, if that's the work you do, maybe it's just how you spend your time on a day-to-day basis that lacks structure. And now you want to feel like you have purpose every day. You're doing something at a certain time every day, whatever you need. That structure is available for you now. So lean into it, get organized. Whatever you do day to day, get yourself organized, have a plan, set those goals to create what you want to get out of what you do on a day-to-day basis. This is the ideal time to restructure your day-to-day life, tear everything down that's not working, and start fresh. So you've likely already started down this path over the last 2 weeks, and now you can take that to the next level and really commit to what you want going forward for yourself. So the surprise element comes in your 10th house of career. It could be also something to do with your father. That's also a 10th house energy. So there is something that helps you break free from maybe what's been feeling humdrum, like you've been doing a job, but you're just not inspired by it anymore. Well, somebody is going to show up and stir the pot for you. Maybe they are going to reach out to you with a surprise new career opportunity that you had never considered in the past. And that career opportunity from that Taurus perspective, again, also has still the financial opportunities. It could have something to do with beauty, love. Maybe you're going to become a love coach, right? It's whatever this new opportunity is from a career perspective, it'll shock you. It'll surprise you. You will think, that's weird. I would never have thought of that in the past. But you've been waiting for something. And when this lightning bolt of inspiration comes through to you, you're going to finally realize that's what I've been waiting for. And you're going to go all in, and then you're going to plan, and you're going to prepare, and you're going to be committed to doing this work for the long term. That's pretty exciting, Leos. And then we have Virgo. So Virgo, another fellow earth sign. This is energy that is in alignment with you. This is happening for you in your 5th house of romance, your 5th house of children, things that speak to your heart, things that you love. And so you're ready to take maybe a hobby and become more serious about it, because of course, Capricorn, Saturn, very serious energy, and you will love it, right? Because Virgo has all the plans, all the details, and when your heart is in it, you are all in. You are ready to go after this opportunity that just warms your heart and opens your heart. And whether I said it's a hobby, it's love, whatever that is, your heart is going full speed ahead, but at a pace that's manageable, right? That's what Capricorn does. So it takes whatever you're doing based on your heart's desire and encourages you to take it seriously and slowly so that you don't burn it out and then walk away from this commitment. So with that South Node still in your sign, this may be the perfect opportunity where you are getting out of your own way and opening your heart and taking a bit of a risk in order to have a much more fulfilling life. And that fulfilling piece comes from that surprise element of that Uranus energy in your 9th house of growth and expansion and purpose and higher meaning to life. So there's a pretty important opportunity, especially if you're late degree, that 28 degree Virgo. This is a big, important deal. It literally, some of you are going to say, I finally understand my purpose. I finally understand why I'm here. I truly understand the power of the heart. It's in order to create the future that I want and have been dreaming about, but had no idea how to get it. That That's a pretty big, beautiful blessing. But again, it's going to surprise you. This teacher, this mentor that could reach out to you and show you the way forward, show you the way to connect to your heart. So be open. Don't send anybody money to Nigeria, however. You did not win the lottery, but you will feel like a winner as you go through this process. So it's the time to set intentions, to open your heart, to gain your heart's desires. So don't hold back, Virgos. And you know what I'm meaning. No controlling everything. It's time to drop control and let this opportunity shock and surprise you and send you in a new direction. And then we have Libras. Libra, this is all about your fourth house. So these are new beginnings that could have to do with where you live, or a new beginning in the house that you currently live in, a restructuring of some kind going on in your existing residence, or again, this could send you moving somewhere new and different. It could be some kind of a shakeup in the relationship you have with your mother. It could be something that you learn about your ancestors that shocks and surprises you. Remember, the fourth house is the lowest part of your chart. This is the foundation from where you stand up and work to achieve your goals. It's about the emotional security that you have that makes you feel safe and confident to go after your goals and dreams. So something about the old foundations that you are standing upon have to be torn down and be rebuilt stronger so that you feel like standing on your own 2 feet and not having to rely on others. That's another way this fourth house energy can show up for you. But things are definitely changing and shifting at home. And this is, again, if you're maybe been waiting to build your home, this home that you're about to go to is one that you're going to be in for a very long time and very committed to. So where does the surprise come? It comes from your 8th house. So the house of death and rebirth and transformation and money that comes to us in a surprising and shocking way. Unexpectedly, you may get money, maybe through an inheritance, that you can then use to buy your dream home, to get the space you need for that expanded family that has shown up for you suddenly. Whatever this is, know that where the money comes from is a little shocking and surprising, but it's going to help you realize your homeowner dreams or help you expand on the home that you're currently in to make more space or make it more beautiful. Everything's changing at home for you, Libra. So go with it, take a risk, and make it be the home of your dreams going forward. And you're going to be in it, like I said, for a very long time. Make sure you love it. And then we have Scorpios. Scorpios, this is in your 3rd house. So this is a new beginning that can have with learning and teaching, communicating your feelings better with other people. It could be a new role in your community. Maybe some of you out there are unhappy with what you're seeing going on in your local government, and you're going to step up and step into some kind of a leadership role at this time. And again, whatever you step into now, it's going to be there for a long time because of this long-term Capricorn energy. So make sure you're about to start doing something that you are emotionally committed to as well, which isn't too hard for you, Scorpios, because you are a very emotional bunch. So this can open your mind to new ideas, and because of that, also send you in a somewhat new direction. Of course, Capricorn energy gets along well with Scorpio. They both have this power of endurance that works very, very well together. So the surprise energy, well, that's going to be coming from your 7th house because, of course, Uranus opposes Scorpio, and Taurus in the sign of Uranus is a partner who surprises and shocks you in some way. Now, it could be a very serious friendship, but it could be a marriage partner or a business partner that, let's say they are your business partner and they decide to invest in you and your education, because in the long run, what you learn helps the business grow, and that helps your business partner. If it's your marriage partner, they may suddenly get a new job, get a raise, and maybe because of that, you have to move away from the community that you've been a part of for a long time. And you're wondering, but what about me? And what about my dreams and my goals? Go. Don't even question it. Just go, because this change is meant to be and it will benefit you. You just have to embrace this new community that you're suddenly a part of, and you'll probably end up being there for a very long time. All right, Sagittarius, there is a really big chance that your job, your career, and everything that you thought you wanted is about to go through a pretty big drastic change because of this new opportunity in the 2nd house of the money you make. So something about how you do the work you do, what you value in the work you do on the day-to-day basis is going to change. And so the surprise comes from your 6th house of day-to-day activities and the work you do. So the 2nd house, the money you make, the 6th house, the work you do, they're coming together to change something pretty significantly as far as your focus goes about work going forward. So there is something maybe financially you could come into some money that allows you to have more freedom in the type of work that you do, and you could just suddenly change careers out of the blue. That would be pretty shocking and surprising, but you want constant change, right? You want constant movement forward. And so if you've been feeling stuck in your career path, with the help of this new moon, you will gain maybe a solid reputation in some way. People are going to take you very seriously. Maybe you're going to become an expert in your field somehow. But it's that Uranus element in your 6th house of health that inspires you to make this big change. Maybe your health is suffering because of the type of work you do, and you can't continue to do that anymore. And so something, like I said, or someone that you work with on a day-to-day basis could introduce you to something new, completely different from what you've been doing so far, and you should do it. Be willing to change everything and take this opportunity really seriously, because again, this is long-term commitments. So even though it's shocking, surprising, not what you would have expected to do in your day-to-day life, doing it fulfills you so much more than just showing up for a paycheck. There's something inspiring, something more aligned with your dreams that's showing up for you at this time. Maybe it's motherhood. Something has changed you in a way that inspires you to go bigger and bolder and do something completely different with your career, at least for the next 6 months. So let me know what's showing up for you, Sagittarius. And of course, you Capricorns, woo woo! This is a pretty big new moon. You've been doing the work, right? There's no way you've been avoiding work over this entire month that we've had all of this intense energy and focus in your sign. So this is about you deciding to work on yourself. So this can be another time where you are focused on getting healthy. You're focused on how you appear to others at this time, and you're getting serious and you're getting very committed. In fact, you may be wanting to be more serious, for people to take you more seriously going forward. And so you would have to do something to change your image up a bit so that people start to see that side of you come through. Although I highly doubt that that's a challenge for you, but it could be. But whatever the goals are that you have for yourself, your physical appearance in the year ahead, now's the time to set them, commit to them, make sure they're manageable. Maybe you need a coach to help you. And then you are highly likely to be very successful going forward because of the plans that you're putting in place for yourself. So how could you be surprised? Well, that surprise for you, Capricorn, comes from your 5th house. So it could be a child. Maybe you've just recently had a child and they are inspiring you to take yourself more seriously. You want to make sure that you are a good role model for the child. Or if it's not a child, you've met somebody that is inspiring you, and it could be a new lover, and they've touched your heart in a way that makes you realize how you've been maybe hiding yourself in some kind of protective shell, like extra weight, not focusing on your appearance. Something that you've been doing to hide yourself becomes awakened at this time through this inspirational person that touches your heart. And then as a result, you are having that moment where you're breaking free and becoming the beautiful butterfly. And I'm not just talking about physical appearance, right? This is a beauty that comes from within, that you shine for others and yourself. So this is a great time if you're looking to change things up about how other people see you, to really commit and to let other people inspire you, and you can trust what they're saying and how they feel. And if that's what gets you motivated, you should embrace it fully. And then we have Aquarius. So Aquarius, this happens for you in your 12th house. So the 12th house is all the things that are hidden. It can be large institutions that you're a part of. It has everything to do with the subconscious mind. And so if there's anything that you've been wanting to clear out, do the hard work to let go of these fears that have been holding you back, well, you've got all the information, all the motivation. The blank slate is in front of you, which is the greatest opportunity when it comes to your subconscious mind, is to literally visualize this, because of course I do hypnosis if you ever need that, and visualize the blank slate. Instead of being part of how you've been programmed from maybe how you were brought up and believing other people's beliefs, you can have a blank slate and believe what you want instead. Literally, it's an Etch-a-Sketch in your mind, and you clear it and then create the future that you want for yourself. That's what you have the power to do with this energy in your subconscious mind. Now, for some of you, again, it could be a career change if you happen to work in the military. Because of all of the actions and changes going on in the world right now, there will be a new possibility for you to pursue within that organization. And again, it's something that's going to last a very long time. Now, it could shake everything up related to where you live, because of course, Uranus is going to bring the surprise from your home and family. So something for some of you out there could be a family member who is sick, and then is in the hospital, 12th house. And there's something about repairing that relationship. Capricorn could be a father figure that ends up in the hospital, and then it's a surprise trip home, right? And then all kinds of things will unfold as a result of that. All depends on your chart. But if it's the career perspective, whatever shakes up and surprises you now, it does shake things up about where you live. So you might have to move for work, some of you out there. But again, go with it, because a huge opportunity. You're going to be rewarded for making this drastic change or move in the long run by showing you're willing, to commit and make this big move and this big change. And 12th house is overseas energy. So some of you out there may be moving overseas for your work, but it will be financially rewarding. So don't need to be afraid of the change. And finally, we have Pisces. Pisces, this for you happens in your 11th house of friends. So this is new beginnings, joining new networks, meeting new mentors, benefactors of some kind at this time. And it could be through them, through a friend, that a new work opportunity appears for you. And again, you want to go for it, because this one will be more challenging for you, which you will appreciate, especially because you've been worked hard by Saturn and Neptune and the North Node for this past 3 years in some cases. So you're ready. Like, it's been preparing you, the struggles, the challenges to your faith, trust, all of those things have been going through the machine, right? And now it's ready to spit out why. And this new opportunity is one that you're completely prepared for because of all the work that you've been doing up until this point. And it's the third house that the surprise comes from. So the third house is maybe the community that you work in and that you're a part of, and there is somebody in and a part of your community that has maybe a financial offer for you along with this job that you weren't expecting. Like, maybe you knew this role was out there and you knew you wanted to pursue it, but you had no idea how financially rewarding it would be for you as well. But there's some surprise communication, some surprise information that could involve money that is coming in for you at this time. And it could kind of shake things up in your friend group. If it's not the work that you do, there is something you learn that is about one of your friends that they have money and they want to do something with it. And again, they think you're the ideal person to help them do it. So all kinds of fun ways to play with your imagination and create new opportunities for yourself, which you're really good at, Pisces, if you let yourself see the light and what's possible instead of creating doomsday scenarios. It's time to move away from those. Alrighty. So many variables as far as what is possible, but whatever it is for you, wherever this is showing up for you, this is a long-term commitment. This isn't just something that you're going to do for a couple of weeks and move on from. This is something that will continue to grow and unfold, and there will be lots of layers, lots of chapters. This is something that you're going to do for a long time. So go forth, explore, take advantage of the opportunities. Trines are tremendous opportunities, but you have to act. You have to accept the opportunity. You have to take some action in order for it to be fully realized at this time. So this isn't about sitting back and waiting for the universe to do something. The universe is doing something. They are opening a door. They are showing you an opportunity, but you have to step through it. You have to commit fully for this to completely unfold for you. Like I said, with Uranus involved, anything's possible. Very surprising. But I do think in the long run, it's for our highest good. So ride through the waves of change and allow this to fully develop and unfold. And you'll be glad you did. All right, guys, literally keep me posted. I love when you guys message me and tell me what's been going on. So I'm expecting to hear from a lot of you as we go through these next 2 weeks. And then tune back later and I'll have a breakdown of the full week ahead for you as well. All right, guys, have an amazing new moon in the sign of Capricorn and let me know what surprises you. Take care.